What's up, dogs and audience? Welcome to week 2, the NFL football pick'em with your boy HardTalk25, and Fitz Canada is here. How's it going, Fitz?
Going good. Week 1, starting to see that some teams are who we thought they were. Other teams, surprising. So we'll see how week 2 goes. If teams can step it up after some terrible week 1 performances,
Yeah,
if they can hold up some week 1 upset.
yeah, going all Dennis Green on them. We are who
Yeah.
they thought they were.
Exactly.
All right, let's go over last week. Against the spread, I was a meager 5-11. Fitz dominated me at 7-9, so hot start. Fitz beats me week 1. And then straight up, I was 9-7, and Fitz was 10-6. So he beat me both ways of Sunday. So well done, well done. How do you
It'll be a
feel?
long season for Yarg.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be a
know.
long season.
I hope not. I hope to reap what I sow here later on. You know, I'm putting all this work into these spreads and all this stuff, and yeah, I'm not doing that much work. I'm lying. Okay, let's jump right into it. The Thursday night game, New York Jets at Buffalo, and the Jets are favored by a half a point, so it's pretty much a pick'em game. And I've looked at this one, and I just think the Jets, the Forte looks so good week 1. They got Marshall, they got Decker, and Nunwa coming out of nowhere last week and having a good game. And they're getting Sheldon Richardson back on the defensive line. I think the Jets are just going to stomp Buffalo up in Orchard Park. I think they're going to win by at least 10 points. But yeah, the Jets win and cover for sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't like to look too much into 1 week, one game to change your opinion of a team, especially the first week. But I can't believe this is a half-point spread because in my mind, the Jets should be favored here.
Yeah.
At least 3 points or 2.5 or something like that, because they looked really good against a solid Bengals team that everybody expected to be a playoff contender at the least. Meanwhile, the Bills looked, mediocre at best against a
terrible
Ravens team that, maybe could challenge for a playoff spot, but the Ravens are not the Bengals this year, and the Bills are not the Jets. I can't see how it's a half-point spread, so I got to go with the Jets to win and cover this game easily.
Okay, excellent. We coincide there. All right, let's move on to the Sunday games. And the game you've been waiting for since last January, and me too. So I'm a big Bengals fan. Pittsburgh at home favored by 3.5 points against our Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh looked really good in Washington, and I didn't realize, but Washington did not beat a team with a winning record last year en route to the playoffs, and they just got steamrolled by Pittsburgh. D'Angelo Williams really helped out one of my fantasy teams. And Cincinnati was the beneficiary of a missed field goal and a missed extra point by the Jets in the Meadowlands last week and pulled off a big victory. I mean, they came from behind there and was able to win. And Cincinnati always plays Pittsburgh tough. 3.5 points. I think that half point is actually going to factor in a lot. I'm going to say Cincinnati's going to cover. I want to say Pittsburgh is going to win, but I got to go with my heart. I'm going to go Cincinnati's going to win. But I always play them tough. They always play them very tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a very good fan if I didn't think that my team could beat another good team. So, yeah, I'm just going to say Bengals win and cover, but I also got to say, this is the best rivalry in the NFL today. Like, there's a lot of rivalries in the NFL. We've got Bears, Packers, but a lot of those rivalries, they're kind of irrelevant now because some teams just suck, like the Bears. But nobody cares about Packers, Bears,
Yeah.
right? You've got all these other rivalries, but this is the best rivalry right now because they're both really good teams, have been for a few years. You add the playoff game from last year, I think it's to a whole new level. This is the game to watch this week. And, this could be game of the year. I know it's early in the season, but they're going to play again later in the year. So this is setting the tone for that because these teams are going to see each other again. It's going to be a great game. Like you said, the Bengals always fight them really hard. So Bengals to win and cover. Am I confident that they win? I don't know. It's a toss-up to me. I really think it's 50-50. There's so much recency bias, I think, because before week 1, teams were pretty high on the Redskins. Then the Redskins go out and get slaughtered against Pittsburgh. Now everybody's saying how bad are the Redskins and how great are the Steelers. It's just 1 week.
Yeah.
I don't think the sky's falling in Washington. I think they can still challenge to win the division. And the Steelers, let's not crown them yet. Let's see them beat a team like the Bengals first.
Exactly. Good points all the way around. All right, let's move on to the next game. Detroit at home, favored by 5.5 points against the Tennessee Titans. Now, Tennessee last week held AP to 31 yards and really did good to stymie him. The problem is their offense coughed up 2 defensive touchdowns to Minnesota, and Minnesota's defense just is really good, especially under Zimmer. They're playing inspired, especially since Teddy Bridgewater went down. I just think Detroit, under Jim Bob Cooter, the new offensive coordinator there, looked really good. Really good. Their defense is not that good, but I think if this turns into a shootout, I think it favors Detroit at home. I think Detroit's going to win by a touchdown. Something like a 30-23, 30-24 type score, and I think Detroit's going to win and cover this game.
Best name in football, by the way, Jim Bob Cooter.
I know.
Best name. That's as southern as you can get, eh?
Yeah, you can go pretty far into the marshes to find a name like that down south.
Yeah, I got the Lions winning this one too, but I think the Titans might cover 5.5. That's a pretty big spread, and I don't know. The Titans, they have some pieces. They have Delaney Walker, the tight end, one of the best tight ends in the game and most underappreciated players in the game today. Mariota, he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be Winston good. I'm a big Winston fan now, but
yeah,
he's going to have his moments this season. This is not an 0-16 team. They're going to beat some team.
No, they're a good team.
And the Lions, although I do like them, everybody knows that this Stafford-led Lions team, they're going to beat some teams that they shouldn't beat. They're also going to lose to some teams that they shouldn't lose to. And I think this could be one of those weeks where they don't lose, it's going to be close. So I got to go Lions win, Titans cover.
Okay, and just the point last year, Marcus Mariota threw 4 touchdown passes his first game last year, just like Jameis did this year. So we'll see where that leads. So, yeah, you can't read into 1 week.
Yep.
Let's go next game. Cleveland Browns at home against the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Ravens favored by 6.5 points. And RG3 went down, and I think it was probably the best thing for Cleveland. They're not a pistol team. They're not a run-and-gun team like that. McCown was actually feasible in the backfield last year. I mean, he still throws his picks, but I think he had 450 yards against Baltimore in a game last year where they ultimately ended up losing. I'm just think Baltimore is just a stronger team all around. Cleveland is kind of a mess. And we saw that against the Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson-led Philly team, rookie coach, rookie QB, and they just dominated Cleveland. So I'm going to go Baltimore to win and cover this game on the road.
Yeah, back in the Johnny Manziel days, which feels like forever ago now.
Yeah.
When they were kind of letting him marinate on the sidelines and they had McCown in, they actually weren't that bad a team. McCown actually looked good some weeks. It was almost half and half weeks where the team looked okay, and him with Josh Gordon, and I think Crowell is gonna have like you said, they're not a pistol team. I think Crowell is gonna benefit more having McCown back there than RG3. With RG3, after seeing them Philly. That looked like an 0-16 team.
It did.
But with McCown back, they're going to pick up some wins, especially with Josh Gordon coming back. I think, week 3? Week 4? Something I think
week 5. He suspended the first 4 games.
Okay, he got the Brady suspension.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, this isn't going to be the week, though. This is going to be the Ravens winning cover. But, hey, if fantasy, I think Crowell actually might be worth picking up if he's available in any of your leagues. Josh Gordon, I actually have him stashed away on my team just in case. So, yeah, they might win some games later, but not this week.
Yeah, I actually drafted Josh Gordon in one of my leagues in the late rounds just to stash him because I already had Julio, Mike Evans and Alshon Jeffrey as my first three. So I was like, yeah, I got a pretty good first three. I'll just stash him on the bench, and it looks like it's going to pay off, especially with McCown going to be slinging the ball when they're behind. So
Yeah, why not, right?
yeah. All right, next game, the pitiful Washington Redskins at home, favored by 3 against your Dak Prescott-led Dallas Cowboys.
America's team, America's quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And America's field goal producer, because that's all he did last week. I think this week Dallas is home. We should win this game, and then they got beat by a better team. Well, I don't think Dallas is a better team. I think Washington is the better team, and Dallas has just stunk on the road lately. So I am going to go with Washington to win and cover this game and put Dallas in an 0-2 hole, and the prayers for Romo to get healthy will increase.
Yeah, the Dan Bailey-led Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. He is good.
He is a great kicker,
Yeah.
but you want the 6, you don't want the 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Redskins as well to win and cover. Yeah, the Cowboys. A lot of people love them going into this season, and I can see with that O-line is great. It doesn't seem to matter who they have running behind it. So getting a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, there are pretty high expectations there. But I like Cousins. Not in love with him, but he's gonna win you some games. He's good enough. He's gonna put up yards. The defense is good when they're not against an elite offense like Steelers were last week.
Yeah.
And by no means is the Cowboys an elite offense. So, and I can almost never pick the Cowboys. I don't know, against a good team. They just always seem to lose those games. So Redskins win and cover this one.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one now. The shootout of the week. New York Giants favored by 4.5 points at home against the New Orleans Saints, who lost their best defensive back last week and still allowed a meager 35 points to Oakland. That 2-point conversion was a gutsy call by Del Rio. But New Orleans offense looked pretty strong. I mean, Brandon Cooks.
Play to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Edwards.
Brandon Cooks looked good. Willie Snead looked good. Colby Fleener was non-existent, which was surprising. But the Giants held Dallas in Dallas to 19 points. JPP, he did his thing. And I think the Giants just, with Sterling Shepard there, Victor Cruz back, and Rashad Jennings actually being the lead back now, they kind of have a set offense along with Odell Beckham Jr. And I think the Giants are going to win this one in a shootout like it was last year. There are 13 TD passes in this game last year. I don't think there's going to be that many, maybe 8 or 9. But I'm thinking it's going to be a 35-31, 35-28, 38-30 type game where the Giants end up winning and put the Saints in an 0-2 hole.
Well, you're right. You're definitely right about this looking like a shootout. These two teams, pretty much any game the Saints are in is going to be a shootout. Drew Brees is going to put up points. Defense is going to allow points. So, speaking of fantasy, Victor Cruz, if you're looking for some depth at receiver, pick him up. You never know.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in like 2 years, but boy was he good when he played, and he looked pretty good week 1 again. So,
yep.
Pick up Victor Cruz. I like the Saints more than most people this year because I'm a big Brees fan. I think he's never really talked about with Brady, Rodgers, Manning, but I think he's right there with them. Sure, like he's a Hall of Fame lock for sure. But that defense, oh boy,
yeah,
that defense really makes it hard to pick them against anybody, doesn't it? So I'm gonna go Giants win and cover here. I do like them to win the division this year. This is one of those games that they're going to have to win if they're going to get that division. So, Giants win and cover.
Okay. All right, so we're in agreement there. Next game, Carolina at home, favored by 13.5 points, basically 2 touchdowns against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Now, San Francisco laid the wood to the Jeff Fisher inept Rams last week in San Francisco on Monday night.
They did not look bad, 49ers. They really didn't.
Yeah, and Carolina, they have some struggles on that offensive line, and I think under Chip Kelly, it's going to be a little bit different game. I think Carolina is still going to win this game pretty handily, probably by 10 points, but 14 points is a lot. That is so much. I think San Francisco is going to cover the game, maybe in garbage time they might even cover. I'm thinking of a score like 27-17. Blaine Gabbert does just enough. I mean, they don't have much on offense there, and I was surprised he scored 28 points. But that defense showed me something, I guess, a little bit against Casey Keenum, especially Todd Gurley. They just loaded the box, and and if they keep Cam from running outside the tackles, keep him in the pocket and see what he can do. I mean, he took a beating last week, so I'm just going to go. I think the spread's too much. Carolina's going to win. San Francisco's going to cover.
Yeah, the spread really is too much. That's insane, 13.5. And the 49ers, they really impressed last week. I know everybody's just talking about how bad the Rams look. And yeah, they look bad. I hope people don't get too deterred by Todd Gurley's performance. If you watched him last year, he is a special runner. He's gonna come back later this year. Don't worry that he's gonna be putting up 2-3 points a week. He's gonna come back. The team's not gonna come back though. They just suck. But
Yeah,
fantasy,
they're bad.
don't worry about Gurley. He's your starter every week. Start him. But the 49ers, they were impressive. Like that offense looked capable. And say what you want about the Rams, that defense was supposed to be good coming into the year. That defensive line, linebacker core, they've got pieces. And the Niners just went through them like butter. I don't know what they did that worked, but if they can do some of it again against the Panthers, surely they can at least be within 10 points. So,
Yeah.
I can see like a 24-14 Panthers win, but
Yeah.
14 points? No. Gotta respect the 49ers a little more than that. So, Panthers win, 49ers cover.
All right. Excellent. We're in agreement there. Next game, New England at home, favored by 6.5 points, basically a touchdown, against the visiting Miami Dolphins. Now, I thought Miami was just going to get lambasted up in Seattle last week, and they almost
we all did.
They should have won the game. I mean, Kenny Stills dropped that touchdown pass, and then Seattle was able to march down the field and get a late touchdown and end up winning 12-10 or something like that. It was just a horribly played game on both sides offensively, and it really told me a lot about Miami's defense. And Ndamukong Suh there, really leading that front line. And I know Jimmy Garoppolo is at home. He just beat the Cardinals, but he can't sustain this. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. I think New England's still going to win. I think they're going to win by 3 to 6 points, but I think Miami's going to cover the spread on this one and just keep close. And I mean, Tannehill is the king of garbage time, especially last year, so it might be a backdoor cover. So I got Miami covering, New England winning.
Okay. I'm going to go different here. I'm going to say Patriots win and cover.
Okay.
It is funny, though. Probably about 90% of suicide pool players, survivor pool players, almost lost last week because of Seattle-Miami. That was very close. I had Seattle picked in my survivor pool.
Oh, you did? I think I had Cincinnati in mine. And I was
That was
too.
bold. Against the Jets, that was a bold pick.
Yeah.
Even as a Bengals fan, I thought that game was pretty much a 50-50, honestly. First game of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, good for you, though.
Yeah, it worked out.
But yeah, the Dolphins, they did certainly impress. Although the Seahawks, they really are always that team that, although they've always been Super Bowl favorites, they never finish 15-1. They always end up playing down to their opponent some weeks. And week 1 might have been just that. I do like the Dolphins a bit better than I did after seeing that week 1 performance, but gotta love the Patriots. The way that they beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Who, on paper, that shouldn't happen ever.
Yeah, it shouldn't,
Ever.
especially at
Backup
home.
quarterback. The Cardinals, they're better at pretty much every position. They really are. The Cardinals, they're such a complete team on paper. You got to put it to coaching. I don't know how else you explain that game. So
Yeah.
I know you're saying that the Dolphins cover because they earned your respect week 1, and I'm going Patriots cover because they really earned my respect week
All
1.
right.
So same reason, really. Just,
Yeah,
I took
yeah,
the
pretty
other way.
much is. All right, let's move on to the next game. Houston favored by 2 points at home against visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Now, talk about a sluggish start. I was watching that Kansas City game at my brother's place, and man, Rivers was ripping into him. Melvin Gordon scored 2 touchdowns when he scored 0 all last year, and they're down 24-3. Fast forward, I'm driving home, listening to the games, and I keep changing back, and Kansas City keeps creeping back. They get a touchdown here, they get a field goal. They force it into overtime, and then they just march down the field and put a touchdown on the board and end up winning the game. They didn't cover, but they end up winning the game. And that showed me a lot. It showed me that that urgency was there to win. I think they're going to carry that over this week. Houston did not play that well against a terrible Bears team. I mean, they won 23-14. I guess the game was never in question, but J.J. Watt was kind of a non-factor. Brock Osweiler, he had one drop by Will Fuller that probably could have led to another touchdown. And Lamar Miller did have a good game, but against that defensive backfield, Houston put up only 23 points, and Kansas City is infinitely better than the Bears. So I'm going to take Kansas City to win this game outright and cover.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I can't believe that game last week, right? That comeback.
Yeah, it was insane.
I do really like the Chiefs this year, but my God, Chargers, how? You lose that game, and then you lose Keenan Allen for the year. Stick a fork in them.
Yeah, fold the franchise for sure.
Big Phillip Rivers fan, but one man can only do so much. They're done.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, like you said, they got the momentum for sure carrying over to this week. I think people are way too high on the Texans and Brock Osweiler this year. The Chiefs, they've proven how good that they are last year. They're a good team. They're a playoff team. I think they're winning that division this year. And the Texans, I'm not sure that this game's even going to be close, to be honest with you. I don't think it will be. I think the Chiefs win and cover. I think it's going to be at least a 10-point victory for the Chiefs.
Okay. Wow. Nice. Kind of like the playoff game where he just crushed them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we agree there. Let's move on to the next game. LA Rams. The LA Rams having their home opener, and they are underdogs by 4 points to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Now, I didn't read too much in this game. I know LA is going to be hyped. That stadium is going to be loud. But then you got Jeff Fisher on the sideline, who is perennially bad. You got Casey Keenum, who is perennially bad. You have no wide receivers. And you have a defense that got carved up by San Francisco last week. Add that all up, and it's going to be a 10-point Seattle win for sure. 27-17. Seattle's going to win and cover. Not going to read too much into what they did the first week because they're a good team.
Yeah, they're a good team, and people always bring up, the spooky Rams and how they always manage to beat the Seahawks. But I don't like those past year stats because this is different teams. They're different players. A lot of the times, different coaches. Who cares what happened a year, 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
This is about a really good team in Seattle playing a really, really bad team in the Rams. So, Seahawks win and cover. I don't know how anybody could think that the Rams cover this game.
Right. It's gonna be tough to post an argument that the Rams could cover this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's not make an argument out of it because we already know.
Waste too much time on the Rams.
Yeah, we don't need to waste too much time on them. All right, now this is going to be an interesting game. Arizona at home, coming off a loss, favored by 6.5 points again against your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Tampa looked really good against Atlanta. Atlanta does not have a defensive backfield, nor do they have anybody on the defensive line, nor do they have linebackers. So they're bad. Arizona has all those things. They're pissed off. They lost at home against a Patriot team with a backup QB. And I think Arizona's going to make a statement here. They're just too good a team. Tampa Bay is still a really young team, especially with Winston there. He's going to make some mistakes like he did last year. And I think Arizona's going to win by a touchdown, probably 10 points over Tampa, and cover this game.
Just wait and see. I am pretty confident. I just have a gut feeling about this game. I don't have the gall to take the Bucks to win, but I'm absolutely going to take them to cover. 6.5, is it?
Yep.
Bucks cover. And if they win, which I think is a possibility, again, I'm going to pick the Cars to win, but Bucks cover. If they do end up winning, the media is going to destroy the Cardinals. This is a team that's supposed to end up with one of the best, if not the best, record this year. And if they go 0-2 after 2 home games to start the year, after playing a backup quarterback in New England, and then playing the second-year quarterback Jameis Winston and Buccaneers. Oh man, if they lose this game, and I could see it happening, I really can. I think it's going to be close either way. And 6.5, definitely, I think the Buccaneers can cover it. They've got pieces. They've got good defense. Their rookie cornerback looks great. They've got the D-line. Jameis looks great. They've got receivers. Doug Martin is a great running back. They have his backup. Looks pretty darn good too.
Yeah, Sims.
This is a scary team. They're gonna surprise people this year. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yeah, I know you picked them to the playoffs. It's gonna be an interesting year. I hope for Green Bay's sake that you are right, because I'd love to see Arizona 0-2. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next game. San Diego coming off that brutal loss in Kansas City, favored by 3 points at home against the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're favored?
Yeah, San Diego is favored. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. So the Jags almost beat the Packers, and then the Chargers are favored over them after losing their top receiver and blowing a... Oh my God. What?
Well, they almost beat the Chiefs, if you want to put it that way.
Sure, if you want to put it that way.
Well, I think we're leading towards our picks here, because I'm definitely going Jacksonville. Yeah. Jacksonville played the Pack very tough. It was kind of a questionable and winning and covering this game, at least by a touchdown.
Yeah, I feel you pretty much just said everything I was going to say. Jacksonville to win and cover. I just think they're the better team, and I think they'd have to make a lot of mistakes to lose to San Diego this week, even though it's in San Diego. I don't know. What can you say?
Yeah, exactly. What can you say? All right, let's move on to the next game. Oakland at home, favored by 5 points against the visiting Atlanta Falcons, who gave up 4 touchdown passes to Jameis Winston. You can probably already see where I'm going to go with this. I think Derek Carr is just going to throw all over that secondary. Latavius Murray, he's going to have a good week too. I just don't like Atlanta's defense. They don't have anything there. And there's only so much Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Mohamed Sanu can do. Because, I mean, Devontae Freeman didn't show up last week. Tevin Coleman was better than Devontae Freeman, and people were drafting Devontae Freeman the second round. I actually picked Tevin Coleman up on a couple leagues and stashed him on my bench because it looks like he's the better back now, which he was the starter last year before he got hurt. So I'm going to go Oakland to win and cover this game. I think at home in the not the black hole in Oakland, as in LA, but I think it's going to be tough for Atlanta to go in there and win. And I think their defense is just not good enough.
Yeah, if you're not impressed by the Raiders after last week, you need to wake up, open your eyes. This is a good team. Just like the Buccaneers, I have this team making the playoffs this year as well, sneaking into the wild card. And the Falcons, just like the Colts, just like the Saints, they can put up points. They cannot win with their defense against good teams.
Yep.
So this is probably going to be a shootout. In all likelihood, you still got the Matt Ryan Julio connection.
Yep.
They're going to put up points too. But you have to like the Raiders more than the Falcons. So I think that the Raiders will win and cover.
Okay, cool. All right, now this next game is a little bit tougher to figure out. You got Denver at home, favored by 6 points against the visiting Indianapolis Colts. So I tried to break it down. You got Andrew Luck. You got those 2 tight ends. who scored 3 touchdowns last week. Ty Moncrief. They got great position players. Problem is, they have one of the worst offensive lines in the league and one of the worst defensive lines in the league. And the way the pass rush is for Denver, Andrew Luck's going to have to get the ball out very quick, which could pose a lot of problems. And the way C.J. Anderson looked last week against Carolina's defensive front four, I think even though it's Trevor Siemian leading that team, he's going to game manage, and that Denver defense is going to take care of business. And I heard on the radio that Indianapolis might win and cover from a lot of people. But I got to go Denver to win and cover. I just don't see how Andrew Luck can beat this team with no offensive line. And probably going to be no running game either with Frank Gore.
You pretty much just answered the question. What makes a really bad team? Well, bad O-line, like you said, bad defense. The Colts are a bad team this year. I don't think it matters that Andrew Luck is the quarterback. They didn't make the playoffs with him already, so I don't know why everybody assumes that they're playoff contenders this year just because they still have Andrew Luck. I don't like them at all this year. I picked the Jags to win that division, and I would even favor the Texans over the Colts as a second option to win that division. The Colts are probably going to struggle to make 8-8 this year. Broncos, meanwhile, are a very good team, and I'm not wholly confident of them making the playoffs either because they do have that really tough schedule, having won the Super Bowl. But straight up, you got defending Super Bowl champ, one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best defense, against really bad O-line, really bad defense. I got to go Broncos win and cover here. I don't know why people are so jumped up on the Colts here.
Yeah, I think it was like because they were Manning's kryptonite, how they beat him in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and then beat him also in Indianapolis 3 years ago. So, but
I don't know.
It's a different team.
Yeah, I will concede though that Andrew Luck can win games like this, but the odds are not in his favor. So I'm not going to go out and pick it to happen.
Right.
I just wouldn't necessarily be surprised if he ended up putting up 40-plus points and beating Denver, but it's certainly not likely to happen. So I'm going to go Denver when it covers.
Yeah. All right. Then let's get to the main event, Sunday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Minnesota at home in their new stadium against my Green Bay Packers. Packers favored by 2.5 points this week. Minnesota looked pretty good on defense last week, but they're facing Marcus Mariota, DeMarco Murray, and Delaney Walker. Here you got Aaron Rodgers, Eddie Lacy, Jordy, Cobb. Devontae Adams actually looked respectable last week. Ty Montgomery
He dropped like every pass his way last year.
Yeah, last year he just couldn't catch anything. This year, I mean, it looks like he actually maybe put some stickum on his gloves or something.
Yeah.
But I really like Green Bay to go in here and win this game. I know it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be like 21-17, 20-17. But I think Green Bay is going to win and cover this game. I just don't believe Bigfoot Sam Bradford is going to do enough. And I know AP kind of has our number, but we've also had some really good games against AP where we've stopped them, to less than 50 yards. And if we read into what Tennessee did, I think we have the playmakers to do what Tennessee did last week and try and make their QB, whoever it is, beat us, which they won't. So Green Bay win and cover.
Yeah, I do feel that Peterson's going to have a big game this week. But I got to go Packers win and cover as well. The quarterback situation in Minnesota, I don't see how they can beat a team as good as the Packers. I think they could beat up on and grind out some wins against lesser teams this year. Maybe end up contending for playoff spot. But against a team like the Packers, this is a team that the Packers should beat every week. So I got to go with the Packers to win and cover. Although it is worth saying, the Vikings' new stadium looks very nice.
Oh, it's gonna be loud. I guess they channeled the acoustics and
Yeah,
it's a 6-point difference. So I think Green Bay is just good enough. I think Jordy just got his feet under him last week, scored that touchdown. The knee looked all right, and I think they're going to take some shots downfield finally and try and spread the field, which will open up Cobb a little bit more, and the underneath passes. I think Rodgers is going to have a little bit easier day for sure.
If it were a bigger spread, I might be tempted to say the Vikings cover, but at 2 points, there's really no wiggle room. So
yeah,
I got to get back to cover.
All right, let's go to the Monday night game. Let's finish this up. Chicago Bears at home are favored, if you can believe that, by 3 points against the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz. Now, Wentz looked pretty good, but albeit it was at home, a nice safe environment against the RG3-led Cleveland Browns. Now, Chicago went down to Houston, played a tough game, might shatter just a little bit. He's a great QB, but you got to realize it's only his second game. He didn't play all preseason. And I think Chicago will do just enough to win this game. I'm going to say it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 31-27, and they're barely going to cover. So I got Chicago in this one.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, yeah, he really did look good first week, Carson Wentz. I'd feel pretty good if I were an Eagles fan. And yeah, this game is in Chicago. I know they're not division rivals, but everybody loves to hate the Eagles anyways.
Yep.
So there should be a good atmosphere here, especially being the Monday night. Not very confident about this. This is really a 50-50 me. I am surprised that the Bears are favored, to be honest. I thought maybe the Eagles were favored by like 1 or something. But I will go with the Bears to win and cover. I just like the team better than the Eagles this year.
Okay.
I probably like Wentz better than Cutler, though, to be honest. But I really like Langford as running back. The defense looks not awful against Houston first week for Chicago.
Yeah.
They put up a fight against a team that people think could win their division, make the playoffs. So it was a somewhat respectable week 1 performance. I'm not sure that it's going to be high scoring like you say, but I see more like a 20-14, 20-16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, but you never know. We'll see. Like I said, this is a 50-50. I really just guessing here.
Yeah, it's tough to tell because you don't know what
Just
Chicago...
don't know enough about these two teams yet because there's so many changes with Philadelphia and the Bears. Everybody says that they're awful, but they do have some good things about them, right?
They do. And, the first 2 weeks, it's always an overreaction first week. Then it's kind of, you overreact the first week to the second week, then something else happens, and then it slowly levels out. Usually after 3 or 4 weeks, you kind of figure out what teams are what.
Right,
so,
and then you can beat Dennis Green and say they are who we thought they were.
Exactly, yeah.
But for now, it's really hard to say, especially with these two teams.
It really is. Okay, so we got a few different picks. I think we're pretty much in agreement on a lot of these. Probably, I think we got 12 of the same here. So, should be a fun week. I'm excited to watch some football tomorrow. I mean, got the Bengals Steelers early, Packers Vikings late. I mean, it's gonna be a real good day of just watching football and packing stuff up here at home. So
yes, it will be. Watch Bengals Steelers game if you're a football fan.
Oh yeah, I'll have a Bengals jersey on for sure early on in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, remember to leave your picks below, either straight up or against the spread, if you want to compete against Fitz and I. It's been a lot of fun doing this for the last year, and look forward to competing against some of you out there who think you're better than us, which I'm sure anyone out there who just threw darts at a board was better than me last week. So, so you have a chance. So yeah, don't be shy. Put them in the comments below. I'll put it up in the video for next week, and we'll see how we do during the season. So take care. We'll see you next time. Fitz, any last words?
Yeah, we picked mostly the same games, but I think there were enough different that I could still beat you again by 2 this week. We'll see.
All right. Good luck. Take care, everybody.